Moving on, the Biden administration is one day shy of completing the first 100 days in power. U.S. President Joe Biden, who inherited a sick and divided nation, delivered his first address to the Congress. It was a historic sight, as for the first time in the history of the United States, Speaker Nancy Pelosi was accompanied by Vice President Kamala Harris. This was Biden's chance to bring the Americans up to speed with the progress that has been made in the last few months. During his much-anticipated address to the Congress, U.S. President recounted his administration's accomplishments. When Biden came to power in January this year, he promised to administer 100 million jabs in the first 100 days. Critics call the plan ambitious. However, the new government managed to administer 200 million shots with 7 days to spare. He called the vaccine a dose of hope. Listen in.
We've gotten vaccines to nearly 40,000 pharmacies and over 700 community health centers where the poorest of the poor can be reached. We're setting up community vaccination sites, developing mobile units to get to hard-to-reach communities. Today, 90% of Americans now live within 5 miles of a vaccination site. Everyone over the age of 16, everyone is now eligible to get vaccinated right now, right away. Go get vaccinated, America. Go and get the vaccination. They're available.
Biden made a plea to raise taxes on corporations and wealthy Americans to help pay for his ambitious American Families Plan, which will cost $1.8 trillion. He said that it is time for the wealthiest 1% Americans to pay their fair share. He also emphasized on the importance of increasing the minimum wage to $15.
I will not impose any tax increase on people making less than $400,000. But it's time for corporate America and the wealthiest 1% of Americans to just begin to pay their fair share. Just their fair share. Good guys and women on Wall Street, but Wall Street didn't build this country. The middle class built the country, and unions built the middle class. So that's why I'm calling on Congress to pass Protect the Right to Organize Act, the PRO Act, and send it to my desk so we can support the right to unionize. And by the way, while you're thinking about sending things to my desk, let's raise the minimum wage to $15.
And for more on this, Jagriti Dave gets us this report from Washington, D.C. Listen in.
Yes, I think, as you mentioned, this was a wide-ranging address, Biden's first to Congress since becoming president. And, Joe Biden talked a lot about China. He described China as an autocracy. He talked about competition with China. He talked about human rights. So clearly the issue of US-China cooperation on climate change, competition on technology, and so many other issues is at the forefront of Joe Biden's priorities, as is his relationship with Russia and this balancing act that he is having to take with Vladimir Putin. This idea of calling for a summit and yet putting sanctions on Russia. That is a balancing act, is something that Joe Biden is having to do to show domestically that he is tough on China, tough on Russia, but that the US is willing and able to do business with them, signaling a separation from his administration compared to the previous administration of Donald Trump.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.